You need to cut down on coffee. And start eating healthier. When was the last time you worked out? You used to be in such great shape. What happened? Sometimes I wonder why humans are destined to look for meaning and patterns in everything that happens. It's like we can't not do it. Coping mechanism or curse. I mean, existence is absurd, so our sense-making is bound to be fragmented and compartmentalized. When was the last time you got 8 hours of good sleep? When are you planning on making that a priority? And don't blame the children, you can just go to sleep earlier. I don't even know if I wake up the same person as the one who went to sleep. Consciousness ends and returns with no accounting for the gap. It's weird, isn't it? You need to call your friends more. I mean, do you even text them anymore? Does not wanting to have friends make me a bad person? Trusting other people can be so hard. Sometimes I think the key to friendship is to expect little and forgive often. Why don't you shave with more regularity? People always talk about life after death, but no one talks about life before birth. I guess if you believe in reincarnation, you probably would. I just can't believe you still don't have a driver's license. When will you grow up and do what normal people do? How would I ever know if no one else is conscious but me? What if I'm the only conscious being in the universe and everything around is a manifestation of my own profound loneliness? You need to be more of a presence in your community. Engage in something local. Just be a good example for your family. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Sometimes I think we forget to remain humble about what we don't know. But I guess that's a side effect of mixing human ego with political institutions. When reputation and status are tied to a specific story being the only story, this is what we get. I wish people were more open to discussing ideas without getting personal and defensive, both in academia and at dinner. Have you even started saving for retirement yet? I think we've simplified issues such as climate change and turned them into tangible problems with digestible slogans. The world we inhabit is more complex than just looking at carbon levels. I also think the term climate change can be confusing since the climate has always been changing even before humans, and it doesn't quite capture the real issue of ecological disaster and mass extinctions we are seeing now. Also, mass extinctions and crazy climate changes are much older than humans. So where does that leave us in our role in dealing with the undeniable fact that we are most certainly causing the current issues around us? I guess it comes down to how one would view humans. Maybe we are just a natural part of the world in the same way as ants or bees, and we're simply blind to the role we play in the bigger scheme of things. Maybe consciousness is just a byproduct of something we can't quite grasp, and something that has no causal role to play in how we act and what we do. But if that's true, then free will is also just an illusion. Why do you sometimes bite non-organic bananas? I sometimes think about the inherent paradox present in philosophical skepticism when it comes to knowledge. The position is simple. It states that you can't know anything. At best, you can assume knowledge is probable, but you can't know that it is true. But if you can't know anything, then you can't know that you can't know anything. So, even if we assume the skeptics are correct in this, they would be forced to also accept that they can't know that they are correct. Because if they are, it invalidates their own position on knowledge. What do you even do with that? When are you going to stop using that plastic coffee maker? Just get a French press already. Don't you know plastic is toxic? And also, you drink too much coffee, cut down. Are we ever just liked for who we are? I sometimes feel like being likable is just another word for how we make others feel. But then that means we're only ever liked for what we are or represent to other people, and what they project onto us as they go through life. kind of lonely, isn't it?
When was the last time you called your parents just to chat?
Sometimes I feel like I'm just waiting to be exposed as a fraud. That I'm on borrowed time.
Why do you spend so much time making videos for YouTube? Shouldn't you spend that time on a real job and on your family?
I once had an epiphany that the biggest service we can provide in this life is to make art. Outside of basic human needs for survival, emotionally and physically. Because life is unbearably tragic, confusing, lonely, and absurd once we find ourselves staring into the abyss. By making art, by capturing some of what we all feel inside, turning it into something relatable and comforting is the greatest, most meaningful use of whatever leisure time we have.
That sounds like a rationalization from someone who needs to justify spending time on something utterly pointless.
Wait, you can hear me? Can you all hear me?
And the Oscar goes to someone else.